Hey everyone, Sataf here, and I'll be taking you through part 2 of this week's SOS. We're going to be running a Wind, Marian and Makoto team with Ange as our navigator. You're also going to want to run the team in this order as well. Wonder's got to have his Purgatory weapon, and then for the personas, we've got Zaou, Dionysus and Dominion. Try and make sure their skills are as close as to what I've got on these guys as possible. So you want Dionysus to have Tarakuja and Rebellion, Zaou, he's fine as he is, and then Dominion as well, also fine as he is as well. Now, if you have another support character, then you could actually use that in place of Marian. The only reason I'm using her is at her A1, she actually gives a 20% buff to her pierce rate when she overheals, as you can see there. So you can actually replace it with Loose. I think I got a 13 million increased score on that, but it was just a bit of a RNG nightmare trying to survive the entire battle on that one. We're running Departure and Control for a set as well, just for a bit more defense down. On to Rico next, and she's just running her normal Creation and Worry set. So on to Makoto next, he's going to be running Hope and Ruin. And then finally, Ange going to be running Labour and Hope. So like I said before, you can replace Marian if you want to, just try and get a bit of a higher score. However, this battle is just a bit of an RNG fest where, you know, if your character's hit wrong, then you're going to die straight away. So onto the battle itself, turn 1, we're going to use Ange's skill 3. Then follow that up with Wind skill 3. Put that onto Makoto. Then first of all, with Marian, what we're going to do is we're going to use Healing Grace to get that 20% pierce onto Makoto. Then after this, use Signature 1 for Zaou. And then you're just going to want to use Makoto's skill 1 here. So like I said before, this fight is just absolutely ridiculously hard hitting. If you don't have a healer, then you might go down, you might have to restart it multiple times. And after part 1 being, you know, I think I got 93, 94 million score, I didn't really want to do it again. So, use Ange skill 1 here. Then save your highlight for when you get to Wonder's turn. You're going to want to use Wind skill 1 here. Then follow that up with Marian's skill 3. As you can see, my Makoto is already down to half health after just 1 turn. After this, finally switch over to Dionysus with Wonder. First of all, use the highlight. And then after that, use Rebellion on Makoto. Now, first of all, use theurgy 1 for Makoto. And then just use his skill 3. Now, something that does happen is Marian will pretty much go down every single turn because she's weak to the damage the boss does, but it's not really that much of a big deal. She does overheal quite a lot, so you should be fine. So back to Ange, we're going to be using skill 3 here. And then after this, with Winds, you're going to want to use skill 3. Put that onto Makoto. Now back to Marian here, we're going to be using her skill 1 just to apply a bit more of a defense down boost, just so the score's a bit higher. Back to Wonder, use Tarakuja. Pop that onto Makoto as well. You'll get a crit damage increase for 2 turns for using Dionysus, and then back to Makoto, skill 1. And like I said before, Marian's going to go down here, but it's fine. He shouldn't be able to do enough damage in 1 turn to knock anybody out. So you'll have a highlight here, don't use it until I say to, but back to Ange, use skill 1 here. Then with Wind, use skill 1 as well. Onto Marian, use skill 3. Then with Wonder, switch back over to Zaou and use his signature ability. Then finally with Makoto, use his skill 3. So first up, use Ange's skill 3 here. And then after this, use Wind's highlight. Pop that onto Makoto. Then after this, use Wind skill 3. Now use Marian's skill 1. And then with Wonder, switch back over to Dionysus and use Rebellion. Then with Makoto here, you're going to want to use his second theurgy. This adds a bit of an attack and damage boost for the last 2 turns. And then you're just going to want to use his skill 1 here. Cool, so you've made it to the end of the battle here. FP's still alive, no real issues there whatsoever. So first of all with Ange, you're going to want to use her skill 1, pop that onto Makoto. Then skill 1 with Wind. And then with Marian, you're just going to use skill 3 just to get that 20% pierce rate back onto Makoto. So with Wonder, switch over back to Dominion, and then something I actually forgot to do in the video was actually put the capo onto Makoto. However, as long as you do it before the end of his turn, it's fine. So with the capo now on Makoto, on Wonder's turn, all you got to do is use Cohesion on Makoto. And after this, you should be able to use Wonder's highlight on Makoto's turn. Now following this, do this in this order. First of all, put Makoto's assist on himself. And then after that, it's going to be 2 skill 3s in a row. So Ange's ability will actually pop up here, but you don't have to use it just because Da Capo copies everything over from the previous turn, and we used that last turn. So we just need to use skill 3 from Makoto, and we'll be done with the battle. Cool. And as you can see, we've got a 71 million score. As I said before, you can get higher, but it's just a bit of an RNG nightmare to deal with. So with the combined scores, well, I think we've got about 160 million this week, so that's not that bad. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and if you have any questions or comments or need any help with anything, just leave a comment below.